Hi, it's Maggie the Irish Gypsy here to bring you your April 2020 general readings. We are looking at the first half of April from the 1st to the 15th. And this reading is for the air sign of Gemini, our lovely twins. So welcome everyone, first timers, newcomers, and welcome back followers and subscribers. Thanks for all of your likes, your shares, your subscribes, your donations, everything that you do in support of this channel. Always welcome and appreciated. So this reading's for the air sign of Gemini. That's Gemini sun, moon, rising, if your Venus is in Gemini, or if you're cross-watching for a Gemini as well. As you know, general readings always resonate a little differently for everyone, so watch all of your sign videos if you can. It's going to help kind of clarify things, bring in more information. If any of these readings do resonate with you and you'd like to reach out for a personal reading or information on that, you can click on the description link below, click on that little arrow, which will pull down some info and contact details. You can email me directly at Maggie1McGuire@gmail.com. I'd be most happy to work with you. I do offer a wide variety of readings in all the main areas of life. And I do readings full time, so it's all that I do. I am quite diligent at working with your schedule in mind to get readings out to you or scheduled with you in as timely a fashion as possible. And I can usually respond to initial inquiries with more information the same day or within the first 24 hours. So hit me up, send me an email if you're interested, and I'll set something up for you. Be happy to. All right, let's move right into this. Gemini. Let's see what April 1st to the 15th of 2020 has in store for you. Okay, Gemini, we begin with the 8 of Coins, work card, followed by the 6 of Wands. We have the World, followed by the 6 of Swords. From the bottom of the deck, overall energy for the first half of April is the 2 of Wands. And for those of you who need or want to know, I am using the Legacy of the Divine Tarot by artist Ciro Marchetti. Okay, Gemini. Well, overall energy for the first half of April is the 2 of Wands. You have a key, you have 2 boxes. Which one to unlock, which one to open? This represents being at a crossroads. There's a choice in front of you, a path that can be chosen. So you're trying to figure out which way to go. So Wands is governed by the element of fire. And in the tarot, the energy of fire is, it's fiery, it's action-oriented, it's usually forward-moving. It's all about change, movement, action, power. It's about building things and creating things, forward-moving and forward-looking. So likely, regardless of what area of your life this is in, it's about how to take the path that will best lead towards some ultimate vision that you have in this area of your life. For example, sometimes Wands can come up for career, for creative artistic things. It can show up for relationships too, of course. But it's about, you know, we're still early on in the path. Aces being the 1, so we're at the 2 here. So with the Ace is kind of like the initial idea, the opportunity, the seed. And in the 2, we try and figure out which path to go down, to start going down in order to achieve the vision or the goal that we have. So you should have a vision or a goal of what you actually want. And you're trying to figure out how best to manifest that. So we have the 8 of Coins, followed by the 6 of Wands. So the 8 of Coins is the work card. Working hard, working steadily, working a lot, maybe burning the candle at both ends, detailed work, perhaps repetitive work. Coins is earth energy. On other decks, it's known as pentacles. It's governed by the element of earth, so it's often about the physical structure of our life, the physical structure of our day-to-day life, and the things in that physical structure and the effort we put into acquiring those things, which make us feel safe, solid, stable, gives us a sense of continuity. It can be dollars and cents, money, finance, property, assets, job, long-term relationships, what makes us feel safe in the physical day-to-day structure of our life. So the 8 of Coins is working hard at something, putting a lot of effort into something. Now it's clarified by the Six of Wands, more fire energy here. The Six of Wands is victory. It's triumph after a battle, after a challenge of some kind. It's success that comes from, what you actually had to overcome and go through in order to get it. It's also a card about public recognition. It can be a card about fame. It can be a card about public visibility. Some of you may be if this is in the area of your life that deals with work, your job, your career path, a business, it could represent that you're working hard, or you're trying to figure out a way perhaps to grow your business. You're trying to figure out a way how to, increase your visibility to the public, either with merchandise or products or services that you offer. How can I best utilize, what's out there today in order to grow my consumer base, my customer base, or the people that I'm visible to? If it's an actual 9-to-5 job, you're working for a company or an organization, how can you grow this? How can you grow this 8 of coins into a 10 of coins, long-term stable success and stability? What do I have to do that? It can even be, relationships as well. This has a feel, Gemini, that whatever this is, and of course, being a general reading is going to be a different thing for different people. It might be a job, it might be a business, it might be a project of another kind. It could be a relationship, although I'm not really getting much of that. There is an implication here with the 8 of coins that you've already put a great deal of work into this, and you're wanting to know how you can have success and victory, or increase your exposure, or get recognition for something, because the 6 of Wands can represent recognition, bonuses, awards, promotions. How can you do this? The interesting thing here is that we have the World, which is a major arcana card, which represents successful completion. You've reached the top of a mountain, which has probably been difficult to get to. You're at the top, you're pausing to kind of relish and celebrate your victory, and you're looking forward and preparing for the next phase, the next journey, the next part of this, the next chapter. And clarifying that is the 6 of Swords, which is a card of healing, of moving away from perhaps a rather difficult and challenging time. It's transitional, which implies that whatever the challenge or obstacle or hurdle or what you've been pouring yourself into is behind you. You're not quite to the other shore and on solid ground yet, but you are moving towards that. Some of it may have been quite healing or quite challenging. The healing process, if this is about healing and moving away from something difficult, challenging, or bringing something to an end, there is an implication with healing that, sometimes in the initial phases of healing can be difficult or painful, like recovering from illness or surgery. There's a process you have to go through, but day by day it gets better. For some of you, may be trying to make the decision as to whether to end something that you have been putting a lot of work and effort into. For some of you, this could be, retirement. It could be, is it time to, I have a pretty successful, I put a lot of work into this. Maybe I've reached the max. Maybe I'm feeling tired. Maybe it's time for me to retire or to cut back. Because your cards are kind of split. It feels like you've been putting a lot of effort into something, trying to make a successful go of it. But then quite quickly, we turn into completion. And the World is the last major arcana card in the tarot. The first is the Fool, just getting ready to start off on a journey. It's all about the Fool's journey, i.e. our journey. And the World is at the very end, after all of the cards, learning, changing, growing, evolving, trial and error, and until we reach the end. A chapter of your life is done, or a set of chapters, very significant, but it's done and you're moving on to something else. And it's very healing for you. So for some of you, it could be, it looks like it's a question of whether to leave something behind or not, and if so, how. I mean, of course, it's not going to be like a retirement issue for some of you. Maybe it's time to leave behind a job, a career path, because you've done everything you can, and perhaps you've hit a ceiling. It could be that for a job, a career path, a project. Again, it could be a relationship as well, but I'm not really feeling that. And overall is this Two of Wands. Which way do I go now? Because the Two of Wands implies that you have and have had rather recently the Ace of Wands, which is the idea, the beginning, an opportunity, a new seed to grow. But it looks like you're already with something or have been putting a lot of effort into something. And now you're like, okay, in order for me to move towards this new opportunity and begin the path of manifesting, do I have to let this other thing go in order to do that? So let's clarify the Two of Wands. The Seven of Coins, and right behind it is the Four of Swords. So this is what the decision-making energy is about. The Seven of Coins is reflection and assessment. You obviously put something that comes right before that Eight of Coins. You put a lot of work into this harvest. The fruit is there, it's ready to be picked. But you can see she hasn't picked any yet. Her basket is still empty. This is a card of taking a look at what you put, all this effort that you've put into this crop, and asking yourself, okay, what do I do now? It's a card of kind of taking inventory. I've put all this work into it towards the success, towards growing this crop. Should I continue? Do I have enough? Should I leave this and move on to something else? Should I pick what I can and then go? Do I have enough to do that? Trying to make decisions based on evaluating what you have, the efforts you've put into it, with what you started off with this. Do you feel like your efforts have been justified, that you've gotten at least what you put into it, more or less, and making decisions based on that? But then the Four of Swords is a card about taking a step back, recovering, recuperation, rest, usually from some kind of struggle or battle or challenge or long-term body of work or something of that sort, perhaps getting, feedback, a new perspective. But this is a card often of kind of taking a step back because you feel kind of tired, worn out, exhausted. So just to recap, Gemini, this is the details and specifics are going to play out differently for those of you watching, but for the Geminis that I'm reading for, there's something that you have been putting already a lot of work and effort into trying to achieve, success, recognition, all of that. It looks like there's been an opportunity recently for something new. You now have this vision of something, and you're trying to figure out which way to go to manifest this. And it looks like for some of you, that decision is going to be between, do I leave behind or end, wrap up what I already have been doing in order to take a chance of moving ahead into something else? Because frankly, all of this work and effort you've been putting into it has left you kind of exhausted, and you're taking a look at what you've put into this versus what you've gotten out of this and trying to ask yourself, is it worth continuing? Because I have this new path, this thing I want to manifest, and what I've been doing into it feels like I've maybe maxed out or hit a ceiling on it. And it looks like for a lot of you, you make the decision to bring something to a final conclusion and heal in order to move forward, because we also have the Four and the Six of Swords here. The Four of Swords is, feeling tired, worn out, exhausted, needing to take a step back. And the Six of Cups is a card of healing, moving away from that and healing. So it feels like a lot of you are going to close something out because you need to rest, recuperate, heal, and move forward from something. Why? What would the World and the Six of Swords accomplish? Why moving away? Why bringing something to conclusion? because of the Four of Wands. This is a card of stability, but it's one of the happy home cards. It's the 1111 card. It's a card of celebration, preparing for a celebration. It could be marriage, wedding, anniversaries. It speaks about the happiness of home, friends, and family, and the stability of that as well. So, again, as a good example, for some of you, this might be about retiring. It might be about transitioning from one job or career path into something else because it's taken up so much of your time that maybe it's negatively affected your home life, your family life, your social life, the stability of your home because you've been pouring so much time and energy into this job, this career path, this project, et cetera, et cetera. And by bringing that to a conclusion and moving on to this new path of manifesting something else, it looks like it's going to have a huge benefit to home, friends, family. There's a celebration kind of feeling here. And the Four of Wands can also bring unexpected blessings and happy surprises, and usually fairly quickly in like a several week period of time. So there's that aspect to consider as well. It looks like for those of you that are making and will make the decision or are making the decision to close out a pretty significant something in your life, it is a healing energy and it's actually going to benefit you, your home, your family, your friends, your social life, whatever that means to you, in a really positive, healing, beautiful way. And I think if you do that in short order, you're going to actually see that begin to manifest quite quickly. So Gemini, great reading. That is your reading for the first half of April. I hope that those of you that watched it found it useful. Again, if any of these readings do resonate with you and you would like to, you're interested in reaching out for a personal reading, if you'd like to take a deeper look at something or get information on a personal reading, just click on the description link below. Click on that little arrow that pulls down information and my contact details. You can also feel free to email me directly at Maggie1McGuire@gmail.com. I'd be most happy to work with you. I will see you all again in a couple of weeks for the April 2020 mid-month general readings. And until then, as always, much love and joy to you. And I hope to see you back here again soon. Take care. Bye-bye.